Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I believe are the top 10 tips to run a successful print-on-demand t-shirt business. Now, I've been selling print-on-demand for over 7 years now, and these are the 10 real tips. These are not fluff tips. These are the ones that are actually valuable that I wish someone told me when I was starting out because they are really helpful. Now, they're in no particular order, but if you've seen any of my videos in the past, you know that I like to get straight into the good stuff and just keep giving you value throughout the video. So without further ado, let's just jump into this and start with the first tip. The very first tip here to run a successful print-on-demand t-shirt business is you have to create a process. Now, what I mean by create a process is in order to succeed in print-on-demand, you have to create and upload a lot of designs. Now, if you don't have a process in place for finding niches to go into, checking trademarks, creating designs, and uploading them, you're never going to get to the amount of designs uploaded that you really need to have a successful print-on-demand business. So see what that is for you. This process could be different for every person out there, but find what makes a well-oiled machine for you based on however you work best. The second piece of advice I can give you is a really good one here. That is to use ChatGPT to come up with your t-shirt slogans. Now, if you don't know what ChatGPT is, it's basically artificial intelligence. So you tell it what you're looking for and it uses AI to create that output. So specifically for print on demand, you can say, write me 10 slogans about this niche, and it will generate 10 original slogans for you. For most people in print on demand, coming up with the slogans can be the hardest part. Using artificial intelligence or a tool like ChatGPT will help you to come up with tons of original slogans. Now, this is a topic that's really interesting, so I'd love to dive into detail, but I want to keep on track here, so I'll link up a video that goes over how to do that process. Number 3 is a really important tip. This is to always check trademarks. When you come up with these slogans, you have to make sure that you're checking that they're not already trademarked. This is one of the only real mistakes that someone can make in a print-on-demand business, is infringing on other people's copyrights or trademarks. What's going to happen over time is if you're not checking copyrights and trademarks and you're just coming up with slogans and putting them on print-on-demand websites, as you start to put a lot of designs out there, people who own those copyrights are going to request that yours are taken down if this doesn't happen automatically on the website. If you get too many of these strikes, they'll just shut down your account. So this may end up being my biggest piece of advice from this video. Make sure that you're checking that your slogans are copyright or trademark free. Again, I won't dive into it in this video. I'll link up another video that goes through how to do this, but make sure that you're taking this one seriously. It's one of the only ones that can really hurt you in this business. Next up is number 4, and this is one that I wish I understood when I was starting out in print on demand. That is that print on demand is a massive industry. A lot of people ask me, is print on demand oversaturated? Well, the short answer is if you're doing print on demand right and you're finding niches and sub niches, there is very little competition if you know where to look. And then further, to put into perspective of how big this industry is and how many sales are really happening throughout the year, in 2021 alone, custom t-shirts sold $3.9 billion worth of revenue. In 2022, that number rose to $4.3 billion in sales. Every year, this industry is growing by almost 10%, which is a crazy amount of growth when you're talking about billions of dollars. So if you look a couple years ahead of us at this industry, in 2030, the estimated sales are $9.18 billion. That's a massive industry. So even if you're making a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent of those sales, you can easily make 6 figures a year if you're doing this process right. The 5th tip I have for you to succeed in print on demand is to find low competition niches. Now, although the print on demand industry is absolutely massive, if you're just creating designs in those really popular broad niches, it's going to be hard for you to get sales. You're simply going to be competing with more people, so the odds of someone coming across your shirt compared to all the other ones out there and wanting yours the most is going to be pretty low. That's not to say that you can't succeed in that. However, if you just look for the low competition niches where there may only be a couple other shirts that you'd be competing or listed next to, then you will have a lot higher chance of getting sales and succeeding that way. So make sure that you are looking for and actively seeking out these low competition niches. Those are the ones you want to create designs in. Again, this is another topic I'd love to dive into and show you step by step, but I have it in another video, so I'll link to that one so you can watch that on how to find these low competition niches. Moving on to the 6th tip I have for you, and this is a little bit more of an advanced tip. This is when you are creating your listings, use similar low competition keywords in the same listing. So as you guys start to advance in print on demand and you're finding these low competition niches, you'll start to learn about what keywords are. So essentially when you find a really good niche that's low competition, you'll want to put the name of that niche in the title and description of the listing. However, as you're doing your research and finding these low competition niches, you'll find that there are other ones that are very similar. So what you want to do is take those other ones that are similar and put them in the title and description as well. By doing this, you can pull the traffic from all of those small niches and keywords and pull them all to see your design that relates to them all at once. Number 7 is understanding the difference between passive and active print on demand. Now, this is a foundational kind of thing that you need to know for print on demand. But if you're getting into the business, there are both passive print on demand websites and active print on demand websites. If you're using websites that are like Redbubble or Amazon Merch on Demand, that is a passive style website. All you have to do as the seller is create your designs, upload them to the website. They do all the rest for you. Coming over to the active side of print on demand, these are websites like Printful, Printify, or using a Shopify website to sell your print on demand. This is a very actively managed side of print on demand. So essentially you're going to have to create your own website, bring your own customers, and then once your products are printed and shipped, you are the one who has to handle the customer service. So they are very different styles of print on demand. Everything you find on this channel is on the passive side. This is for creating passive income streams with print on demand, not creating your own very customizable clothing brand. Moving right along to the 8th tip here. This tip is that no matter what the tool is, you need to use a t-shirt design tool. After being in print on demand for so many years, there's no way that I could run a successful print on demand business without using a t-shirt design tool. Now, personally, the tool that I've been using for the last couple years is called placeit.net. The reason that I use them compared to Canva Premium or any of the other design tools is because Placeit is 100% copyright free. Remember earlier on we were talking about copyrights and trademarks? Well, it's not only applied to the slogan, it also is for the graphics or the fonts that are in the designs that you use. Everything that's on Placeit's website is copyright free. If you go to some of these other websites, not everything is copyright free and they don't tell you which fonts or graphics are copyright free. So you run that risk of creating a bunch of designs on their site, uploading it to these websites, and then 6 months down the road, you get a copyright strike and you don't even know why. It could have been from the font or the graphic that you used. If you're someone who's new to print on demand and you want to see how to create these designs, I'll link up a video showing screen recording of how I use Placeit to create all of these designs. Tip number 9 is specifically for those of you who are just starting out in a print on demand business. And what this tip is to get over the initial hill. What I mean by that is when you're starting out in print on demand, it may take you a month or 2 months to start getting those sales coming in. You really just have to have faith in yourself that as you're uploading all of these designs, they will eventually show up on the marketplace and they'll start getting traffic and then the sales start. I think a lot of people get stuck on the uphill and they end up quitting before they start going down and they start enjoying the ride. So try to have patience and have persistence and keep uploading your designs until you see this start to work. While we're on this topic, a really valuable kind of golden nugget that I can give you about this, in order to make that hill smaller so you start getting sales earlier on when you're starting out, find the sub niches and create designs in those. So that video I was talking about before that talks about how to find the low competition niches, that video will explain what I'm talking about with these sub niches so that you can find things where you have literally no competition. You can create designs in those and you'll start to see sales really early on. And lastly on this list is the 10th tip. This is a crucial one for anyone who's doing the passive style of print on demand. That is that you should be uploading your same design to multiple different websites. These passive print on demand websites, for the most part, are all non-exclusive. So the ones that you see me talk about on this channel, you can upload the same design to all of those different websites. By uploading to multiple of these different websites, you're simply going to get so much more exposure on your listings. So guys, I know I referenced a lot of videos throughout this video. I'll put them down in the description and try to make them as easy as possible to find them. Hopefully this video has been helpful. If you have any questions, just let me know down in the comments. I'd be happy to help you out. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.